Since Prince Harry has made his appearance in the docuseries The Me You Can't See, he's spoken out about his life in the royal family. And because of that, people are starting to really scrutinize Prince Charles's ability to parent. Now, for years, people said that Charles was this exceptional father. And I'm sure he did the very best that he could. To be fair to Charles, he did take Harry to Africa. 2 months after Princess Diana died, they were on their way to Africa. When he got to Africa, he found something that would bring him back again and again over the years. And what he found in Africa was that he was not a prince of the realm. He was just Harry. He was just that kid with the fiery red hair that seemed to get along very well with people. That was his first really big taste of freedom from that life that he had in London. And he liked it. And he returned to Africa again and again. Even served as a co-founder of the Sentabale charity with the Prince of Lesotho. And then at some point, Harry decided that, I really belong in the military. That was almost impossible because of his ranking as a senior member of the royal family. But Harry would not settle for anything less. He wanted military service. He found solitude in everything military when he was a child. So it was a natural fit for him. And it worked out. And it's really sad that he identified better as a soldier on the battlefield and eventually a helicopter pilot. He identified with that life better than his life that he left in London, which really speaks volumes of that family. I don't know what it is about the royal family that I keep thinking flowers in the attic. And just about every other creepy movie where people are, their wheels are somehow bent or twisted. Their wheels are somehow bent or twisted. But now Harry has a life in California. Unfortunately, someone who used to work for his mother, Paul Burrell, who otherwise used to be very neutral about Harry, in some cases even supportive of Harry, now all of a sudden he's gone to the dark side. I don't know if they finally made him an offer he couldn't refuse, or I don't know if this hustle of his is getting to the point where, if he's going to sustain, he has to give them what they want. And so, anyway, someone that I once had some type of respect for has, I guess, become rather critical of Harry. And he says that he doesn't recognize Harry anymore, someone who I'm guessing hasn't worked for since Harry was 13 years old, and someone who has I'll say it to you like this. I don't want to spend all my time saying it. I'll just let you do the homework. You have to go and look up Paul Burrell's activity after Princess Diana passed away. I mean, there's a lot of things that really deserves a red flag or a question mark. I'll say this, though. I liked Paul Burrell better when he was just this very neutral voice and somewhat supportive voice to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Now he has gone over to the dark side, and it's very unfortunate. Paul Burrell has led an interesting life since Princess Diana has died. He has managed to enrich himself. He has created celebrity for himself. I'm sure he has an agent. And I'm not really one to hate the hustle, but it does bother me when that seems to exploit a good great-natured person like Prince Harry. I wouldn't say he's a good-natured person. He has a great nature about himself. And he has paid dearly for being born into a life of privilege. You know, one of the big criticisms about Harry is that everyone yells, oh, but well, not everyone, but, people on that side of the pond, they mention the fact that he comes from this wealth and privilege and he's going to regret walking away from this. This is the Harry who was filmed with holes in his shoes. He didn't really care. Harry had no concept of money. I live here, I do this, I do that. He had really no concept of money. He didn't have some high-end supercar or something like that. And of course, what about that time when he was, his father's like, what's taking you so long? And Harry's like, well, you have other people do your boots for you. Harry was trained by his mother to be as real and authentic as possible. It's really unfortunate that this very authentic young man has been mistreated, and now he's in his mid to late 30s, and it's like people don't want to let him go. They don't want to let him grow up. Everyone over there that has made a living off of Prince Harry, they want him to remain in his brother's shadow, and it's just not meant to be. It was time for him to move on. He's done his work, and they have gotten so much out of him, and now he's trying to fix himself. He's trying to break free of what he assumed was just the way it was. Well, now he has options. He has a family. He's moved on. And they don't want to let him go. They do not want to let him go. They're still clinging to hope that he can come back, and not that life would be the same, but that they would get a chance to degrade him with all of their columns and television appearances. That's what they want for him. They want Harry under their shoes. They want to use him as a doormat like they've had for years. And that is not happening. There is no return. They may as well get used to it. He's free of that. And no matter what kind of wealth and privilege that you've grown up in, it doesn't matter. No matter how poor you are. If someone is trying to control you, if someone is trying to shape your life for you, that's disgusting by itself. But when someone is living in a gilded cage and your life is supposed to be walk in your brother's shadow, support your brother. You're not the principal, your brother is. Your brother is the future monarch and sovereign. If Harry would have stayed in the Matrix, if Harry would have stayed in the UK, he would have slowly but surely have been pushed out of the inner circle, and God only knows how they would have treated Archie. I mean, based upon the treatment that the Duchess of Sussex received, you can only imagine how Archie would have been treated. I remember reading that the royal physicians were called upon for Meghan's first pregnancy, and they declined. They said, nah, we'll use our own doctor. Now you can see why. Harry doesn't trust his own family. I don't believe that he trusts his own family, which is why it was necessary to leave. And instead of them worrying so much about the things that he said, just be grateful for the things he hasn't brought up. Maybe in time he will. But so far, he's playing his hands very close to his vest. And let's hope for their sake that he doesn't have to have any type of recall that may prove embarrassing for them. It could be fun, but let's hope it doesn't come to that. And the only way to ensure that he's not disclosing more, just leave him alone. Just leave him alone. And Paul Burrell, you should leave him alone too. I mean, just Googling your name in association with Princess Diana, you don't really come out of this looking too good. It's a good hustle that you have. It's very lucrative. I think you're on your second book, are you? Just, enjoy the ride, but leave the Duke of Sussex alone. Leave his wife alone. Don't go on television saying that you don't recognize him and you're disappointed. And, it's bad enough that someone that pretends to be a sweet old lady is doing this. Actually, one of them is actually pretending to be a sweet old lady. One of them has literally just become a lady. Let them do this. I hope, for God's sakes, they'll stop at some point. But I don't suspect that'll happen because there's too much money to be made. But be a man of honor, Paul Burrell. Just talk about the Queen and the rest of the family. Leave Harry alone. He's paid a big, big price for being a part of that family. He's lost his mother. He's lost his country. He literally had to uproot and leave. But you're still there. You're in the thick of it. Be kind. Say as little as possible. Go back to that very neutral tone that you had before. Somewhat supportive tone. But just leave him alone. Stop speaking negative of Prince Harry. He's done enough for that family. And his mother has given you financial security. So what else do you need? Just cease and desist. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'm out.